Welcome back to the Reynolds Team podcast. I'm here with Jarrett Bass. And today, what we wanted to talk about was investing in real estate in Vero Beach and all the market trends, all the benefits, and all those types of things, and be able to share that with you. Before we dive in, if you would do me a big favor and smash that like button and smash that subscribe button. All the algorithms love that. And also, if you have any questions or comments, just put any comments down below and we will make sure that we get back with you. And also, anything that we reference that you would like a copy of, we'd be happy to share with you. So let's kind of jump into this. So Jarrett, I know you personally do some investing.
I do.
When did you start doing that?
Let's see, probably just under 10 years ago.
Okay.
My wife and I always knew that real estate is a great investment. Over time, there's always appreciation. So we knew that we wanted an investment property. First, we could not find a single family home that we were in love with and we wanted to buy.
For your guys' personal use.
Personal use.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Which in my opinion is the first step in investing in real estate, is becoming a homeowner. Mm-hmm. But we did find an investment property, a multi-unit, a triplex that we did like, and we took that leap first.
That's super smart, because obviously when you do that, you're buying it as your primary home with primary home type lending conditions.
Yes.
And you need a place to live anyway.
Everybody does.
Right. And then you get to have two other people that help carry the cost and everything. That's great.
It was really beneficial. Essentially, that specific property with 2 units rented out actually provided us with a profit. We were making money and living without any cost.
So there's no such thing as free rent?
There is.
So that's cool. And then fast forward over a little bit of time, you guys moved out.
We did.
You did find that other home.
We found a home that we fell in love with, and we decided to purchase that. We moved out and rented that one side out, and we still own it to this day, and it's great.
Some of the common questions that people ask with investing, like, how do you get started?
That's right. People are sitting around the family table and, dad or grandpa or mom says, invest in real estate. You go, right, that's a good idea. Where do I start?
Yeah, and it's scary. I mean, everything has like a little bit of risk, but I think you kind of said it earlier, if you can close your eyes for 10 years or 20 years, it's really hard to mess things up.
Sure. Over time, historically, real estate appreciates.
So I would say if someone's like really wanting to get started, I think I would start, we kind of talked about it offline, start assimilating your team.
Yes.
So what are some components of the team?
The thing, you want to be prepared. Okay.
Right.
You are not the only one out there looking for these specific properties. First things first, you need to be able to locate the property. So working with our team of knowledgeable realtor that is investment minded and looking for these specific properties that can also let you know about them maybe before they hit the market, things of that nature. So locating the property is important. Also being prepared when those properties do come to market, being able to make your offer quickly. So being pre-approved with a lender already and having all of the finances lined up is the second most important thing.
And then I think one of the third components that we talked about is your repair people and handy people and contractors to help, rent ready a house.
That's right. To have the most profitability, everybody's probably heard the phrase before, buy the worst house in the best neighborhood.
Right.
So that you can purchase that home, great neighborhood, maybe do a little rehab, fix it up, and make a decision from there. Either common things that people hear is house flipping. Maybe you decide to rehab that property and then sell it for a profit, or you're going to buy that piece of property and you're going to hold on to it and rent it and have somebody else pay for your asset.
Right. Everybody feels differently about long-term and short-term. I'll just be candid. My personal thing, I really am not a flipper. I don't really like it. I don't, it's high impact. You got to buy it exactly right. You're not going to sell it for more than market. But I know a lot of flippers out there
Sure.
that do very well, and I would get advice from those people on the flips. What I love about long term is, and it doesn't have to be long term, but you can buy a property, put a tenant in place a year or two, which is short term for me, but a year or two, and decide exactly when you want to sell it,
Absolutely.
rather than just playing in the current market that you bought it in.
Yeah.
And so it nets you a lot more money, as long as all the other carrying costs and everything makes sense.
Yeah. You don't have to make the decision to either be a long-term real estate holder or a flipper. You can do both.
Yeah.
And make the decision from there. The greatest part for investing in real estate is being able to leverage somebody else's money.
Right.
You can come in and put 10, 20, 30,000, whatever price range you're working with, and put down that down payment and secure a $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 home,
and then be able to leverage it. So, but I mean, just starting out, I think if somebody just meets with a financial, like a mortgage professional,
yes,
let them go through all your finances and get all the documents, and it'll feel a little painful at first, but partnering with the bank is like going to be your best partner.
Yes,
unless you're just cash. You just got more cash than you know what to do with.
Yeah.
But leveraging and partnering with the bank is the best.
You really find out, you can think about it all you like, but until you really sit down and do that and find out what your purchasing power is, and let's say you find out what your max purchasing power is, that doesn't mean you have to take it to the max.
Right.
But at least you know what types of properties to be searching for.
Right. And properties that I look for is properties where it's median of the market on rent, or maybe a median above. I try to I'm not someone that's looking for the $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 a month seasonal person. I like the median market. Currently now it's anywhere from 18 to 2,200.
Sure.
And that way, if there's a vacancy, the supply of tenants is pretty high in that. And I'm probably not the sexiest investor. I like the long term.
Yep.
Just kind of pay down the debt, write off the depreciation, and wake up in 10 years or and everything's worth a lot more. Someone's paid off my mortgage.
Yep.
And
your property value keeps increasing, and we could talk all day about those things, the tax benefits that come along with that. And there are different types of investors. Some do want to buy and hold and have long-term tenants.
Right.
There are other investors that want to do short-term rentals. Airbnb, VRBO, having a property manager set up and somebody that's going to handle everything for them, and they're going to collect their check.
Right. A lot of times we like to, just set up, like the way I keep track of things is I'll have a spreadsheet and I have my income, monthly income, monthly expenses, and how much interest, because that's all deductible.
That's
all
right.
Interest is deductible. And it's so easy to see. I have some properties I've had for 10, 12 years, and you can see like the one, in Point West, it started off at $1,100 a month. Now we're at $2,200 a month. And I could just see the whole history of writing off the interest and everything. And it's really kind of cool. And
it is.
And then you can leverage it. Now you have an asset that you could get a loan against to buy another property, and both properties, the debt is being paid by somebody else.
And that's exactly the goal. Most people out there, when they're searching for these things on YouTube, anything like that, they're going to see the BRRR method, which is, you're going to buy it, you're going to rehab it, you're going to rent it, and you're going to repeat.
Nice.
So you can use those funds to take out an equity loan, something like that, and use those funds to purchase another piece of property. And there are other types of financial vehicles out there, like a DSCR loan, which is going to just be based off of what that property can be rented for, and secure a loan with a lender that way.
Yeah, that's a great way, because it's taking into account the income and debt of the property, and the appraisal is done that way too.
That's right.
So and then that way you actually have some documentation of just saying, hey, this is checking all the boxes, because they're not going to lend on it if the rent's going to be lower, or the debt's going to be too high on the property.
Depending on that lender's risk tolerance, as long as you can rent that property for a certain amount of money, they'll approve your loan.
So in just kind of wrapping this up, because I'd love, because we could talk forever about investing, if any closing thoughts that you would have, like if you were just talking to someone that was on the fence about investing?
I would say start somewhere. Start talking with somebody that has done it before. Please, you walk into our office. Let's have a conversation. We can talk more. This is just a basic introduction to people that are thinking about it, and start getting your team together. How are you going to find the home? How are you going to pay for the home? How are you going to rehab and fix the home up? And then you can be prepared to find the right investment for you.
And my closing thought on it is kind of recapping what Jarrett was saying, is get started, whether that's in the financing side and everything. And then as a pro tip once you acquire a property and tenant starts wanting to renew and things like that, I'm funny about the properties. I really like everything being kept in good condition. And so I will order a home inspection before we do the renewal.
Yes.
And just do I want to renew? And a home inspector is getting all underneath the sinks, all in the attic, all everywhere, and in a nice report that you can get to a handyman. And an inspection report's like, $300 or $350.
Sure.
And because I made a mistake of having a long-term tenant that was in my townhome for like 8 years, and I never really went over there, and they never called and complained about anything.
All is well, right?
And it was basically 8 years of terrorism on the inside of my house, inside of the townhouse. Now, luckily, everything was at the end of its life, and so I remodeled everything, but it was awful. So I would just say, staying on top of it, having someone on site, whether it's you or somebody else, and definitely before you renew, maybe getting a home inspection. But we'd be happy to share any other tips or, deal with any questions that you guys have. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you tuning in. And again, if you have any questions or comments, please put below, and we really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next podcast.